everybody, welcome back to another Tickfaw Files. So today should be pretty interesting. We've got the whole crew here this week, and we had our interlude last week, so I'm sure Rowan has plenty of dastardly things planned. Hey, resub! Thanks, Rowan. Speak of an L.
I should probably save that actually for our other game.
Yeah, you still have a Switch 2 characters, by the way.
Yes, I am aware.
Okay, and I got your sub on the noted down here as well. So, before we jump into the story and all of the horrible things that no doubt await us, I want to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about their characters, and then I'll go over how you, the viewer, can actually affect the story in the show as we go along. Thanks so much for that, host. So we'll start with Rowan. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. You can find all my work at rowannorthillustration.org or at my Twitter. I'm trying to be active there more and trying to get more followers there, so feel free to do that. I'm going to post some art that I have made for tonight's session up on my Twitter after the session or during, depending on how things go. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I'll post that link in chat. So, yeah.
And then, Vanessa, tell us a little bit about Mira and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am the resident Canadian of the group, and I am primarily a watercolor artist. I play a character named Mira, who is a red cap fairy masquerading as a human. She's currently a little bit pissed off at everybody, but then again, when is she not?
Just a tiny bit.
But yeah, what'd you say?
I said just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. She'll get over it eventually. But yeah, she's trying to find her place with the humans here, and she's not quite sure what side she's on yet. So that'll be interesting to see.
Awesome. And then Yasmin, tell us a little bit about Savoy / Zahil and yourself.
I'm playing the characters Savoy / Zahil. And they are a changeling, wherein the changeling has completely taken over the host's body. And they are sort of the pseudo mayor of this small town and trying to wrangle all of these different characters into figuring out the best solution for their town and their people. And my name is Yasmin. I recently rebranded my graphic illustration art company and social media, and you can find me now under the alias Miss MYS -Tart TART.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it still the same Twitter handle, or has that changed as well?
That recently updated, but I don't actually know for sure.
Okay.
I can tell you that for next week.
Okay, cool. I want to make sure I update the text on your panel there if we need to. So yeah,
no problem. I'll find out.
But that's awesome. And then next we've got Riley. Tell us a little bit about Jonas and yourself.
Hi. So Jonas, he is this 28-year-old floater. He's kind of been searching around for this big event that he calls the war, or what he heard of as the war. So he's looking for this big event that will be a war between like the Fae and the humans. And his travels led him to this area. And so he's busy trying. He loves Fae. So he's completely just drawn in by Mira and Savoy and all that they are. And he's just, I don't know, he's just Jonas. I'm Riley. I am an crochet designer. I actually just launched a website for my business today, so I will put that in chat. And yeah.
Congrats.
Well, that just leaves me. So I play Dr. Tilda Jenkins. She has a doctorate of museum and library sciences, and she is the resident expert for the party. So she's the expert playbook and monster of the week. Um, Mostly, she's been working on figuring out, how all this Fae stuff works. Now that she knows that it's all real. As well as warding Savoy's estate, which is where their sort of party base is for the moment. So she's kind of been turning into the party's enchanter as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then, as I mentioned, there are ways that you, the viewers, can affect the story and the show. So there's a number of ways that you can do so. One of the easiest ways to do it is through the game tweet, which is right there in chat. So for every 5 interactions, that's likes, retweets, and comments, a D4 goes to the GM and to the cast. And since this is Monster of the Week, being a 2d6 system, an extra D4 is kind of a big deal. So it's a great way that you can help out everybody all at once. You can also use guild coins, which you'll find on Twitch right below the chat box. There should be a rainbow token little icon there. If you click on that, it'll tell you all the different things that you can use those for. And you get those coins just for watching and doing things in the stream. And then finally, if you want to support the channel monetarily, there's a number of things that you can do, which you can see right over here in the middle. Most of those are pretty self-explanatory, but some of them that might not be, is the switch, which allows somebody to tell another player or the DM, hey, that action word that you just used to describe what you're about to do, you have to change it, and it can't be a direct synonym. So, if, let's say, for example, Naomi is getting ready to spy on Jonas, one of us could throw out a switch and Rowan would have to change it to Naomi's going to do something else to Jonas. So it can be kind of funny and interesting. The borrowed success means that a player will automatically succeed at what they're trying to do. However, every time they roll after that, there's a d20 rolled, and if it comes up 15, then they lose that success. So it's a bit of a gamble. If you go the whole session and you don't get a 15, then that's it. It's over. The risk is averted. But if it does, you can potentially lose a success when you really need one. So it's a bit of a gamble. It makes things interesting. And then finally, the swap 2 players for 5 minutes means literally 2 players swap characters for 5 minutes. That includes the DM. So if you want to see a player play somebody else's character for 5 minutes, it can be pretty funny. Or if you want to put somebody else in the hot seat for 5 minutes and let them run the game, it can be pretty interesting. Speaking of which, Rowan currently has one of those redeemed and has yet to say who. So we'll see if that comes into play today. All that being said, the ways that you can do that are through coffee.com/Raven, raven.rocks, through subscriptions or bits, or through Patreon. So all patrons that are bar tier and up get a certain number of credits to go towards these viewer actions every month. And those are redeemable through that. You just have to let me know in chat. So with all that, I'll hand the reins over to Rowan. Be kind to us poor investigators.
No promises. All right. So last time we were missing Yasmin. I think we've caught you pretty much up on everything, correct?
Yeah, I've watched the last hour and a half of 2 hours of last week's session. So I'm not sure what happened at the beginning, but I most certainly know what happened at the end.
Yes, and I did fill you in. So basically last time, like we said, it was kind of an interim episode where things are happening in between waves of monsters, so to speak. So what happened was Savoy actually had to go deal with the animal control people who were looking for the alligator and got their car crushed, and dealing with that and paying people off, which is why she was out of town.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, although she had tried her best to explain things off to Kyle, explaining that it was hallucinogenic mushrooms that made him see an ogre in the woods.
And Savoy
Kyle-
turned into a total monster.
Seriously, he saw some real shit, guys. So although all that had happened, you did a pretty decent job at convincing him, but he still wasn't quite sure what he saw or what happened, so he ended up going to Naomi, who was already questioning everyone around the town, and he already knew that. Because, I mean, if this sort of thing is happening, that's important to report to the authorities, right?
Savoy is the authority. Just saying.
Okay, but you and Kyle have,
Yeah.
Savoy and Kyle have always been a little bit at odds, so it's understandable. Naomi questioned Tilda. Tilda found out the book was the spell book that mysteriously appeared in the library has gone missing from her collection, and just got the tapes when we left off of what they may have been, because there's security tapes around the manor. We also had an epilogue where Faith Moonstone, who we met briefly last session, had his ear bitten by something. And it was nasty.
I mean, to be fair, he kind of deserved it, just saying, but, you know.
Okay. Being a little shit is one thing. Wishing that on someone, no, never.
I didn't say I would ever wish it on him. I'm just saying, you know, Tilda's probably wouldn't be upset that it happened either.
And you say that Tilda's not the bad guy.
She's not.
Good grief.
She's the neutral party here.
So, so let's actually begin kind of where we stopped. Savoy, you come in about the time that you have that the staff has been working on finding the footage of who snuck in and stole the book. And so Barney, Barnabas Earls, who was working that day, as you walk in, he goes, "Oh, ma'am, it's good to see you." Impeccable timing, I would say.
What do you want? And
I see the trip went well.
Savoy looks worse for wear, like a little disheveled, unkempt, suit jacket slung over his shoulder, hasn't even brought out their stuff from the car, bags under their eyes, and is just like, what?
I'll get the servants to help with that. But there was a bit of a emergency. Tilda had something stolen from her, and we had checked the footage and just found footage of who was the one who stole it. And we're about to review that with her.
Who was it?
It was Miss Mira, ma'am.
What?
I apologize for giving you bad news already.
It's fine. I'll handle it. What else were you going to say?
That we were just going to review that with you. Oh, and from what we've reported is that the moonstones have dropped off your package.
Excellent.
I believe Miss Tilda has it.
Okay. I am going to go and get changed. I will speak with Tilda in a little bit. You may go and do whatever it was that you were going to do. I will be back. And just trudges up the stairs.
Take your time.
Before Savoy can get inside the house, Tilda, who I would assume has asked to be alerted when Savoy gets back,
Yes.
is going to be on the front porch, probably from Savoy's perspective, this might be a little bit awkward because Tilda's standing on the porch, dressed very nicely, a little bit nicer than usual, holding a ring box in her hand.
Sorry. Savoy would just stop there and look at Tilda and be like,
Some shit's going on.
what? What are you doing?
By the way, somebody's got some mic static going. It might be coming from your mic, Riley, if you were just messing with your microphone.
Is
Just
it
a heads
better
up.
now?
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah. Yeah, it's good now. So yeah, Tilda, not even thinking about what it might look like, is just standing there with the box. And when Savoy's like, what are you doing, Tilda? Just like, well, I got the wards done on the estate while you were gone, and so I didn't want you to end up, in our new sort of prison cell. So,
That's right.
So here, and she opens it up, and it's a very simple, small gold band with a marquee cut emerald in it. And
Say a
Orson-
diamond. Wow.
No, not diamond. It's a marquee cut emerald in it, and hands it to Savoy and goes, yeah, so as long as you have this on, you won't get, zapped into the holding room.
For
And also, will you marry me?
theatrics only, I'm going to paint the next 5 seconds for you. Savoy hears this and nods, and in one graceful gesture strides up the stairs in true Howells fashion, like Howells Miyazaki fashion, coat billowing behind them, tousled hair waving in the light breeze, and comes to stand almost toe to toe with Tilda and says, "Thank you," and plucks the ring out of the ring box, her shoulder a little pat, puts it on, and strides off.
Amazing.
In very uncommon Tilda fashion, Tilda has red cheeks now. And follows in.
Amazing. So, by the time that I guess you overheard this conversation with Barney. So you know that it was Mira that stole the book.
Who are we talking to?
You,
To me?
Tilda.
Yes.
If you followed in.
Yes. Well, I mean, Barney explained that last week to Tilda. So Tilda already knows. But yeah, she'll just be kind of hanging out, going like nodding and interjecting where necessary to add more detail. Like
Beautiful.
Like she didn't even use proper gloves. Just shoved it into a bag.
Amazing.
Forget the fact that she stole it. She didn't handle it properly.
So, if Tilda is there, no, Savoy's still gonna go and go get changed and freshen up.
Fair enough.
Gone.
What time of day is it?
I would say it's about afternoon. I think where we left off was you talking to the goblins a little bit.
So it's around that same
Tilda.
time?
Yes. I will get to Jonas in a second. Tilda, have you called Selena Moonstone yet?
No. I don't think so. Tilda has put the present for Savoy in Savoy's master bathroom. So that's present. No pun intended. But I don't think she's had a chance to call Selena yet.
Okay. We can get to that in a second. Let's go back to Jonas. Jonas, what was it you wanted to do?
Oh, I was just trying to figure out like where Jonas would be, so now I know. But Jonas was heading back to the house, correct? And then he saw the trash can move.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. It was about it's about evening time, so you were hanging out with the goblins and you saw a trash can move. Which was very strange. Actually, Jonas, as you get into town, there is.
Oh, Jonas was gonna go back to the estate if he knew that Savoy was getting back.
Okay. Cool. So you come on in, like, hey guys.
The boys
Alright,
upstairs, by the way.
Everyone's having a party without you.
Oh, hey, Jonas.
Hi. Jonas is gonna walk to the kitchen and just get something from the fridge.
Hopefully not alcoholic this time.
No, he's just making himself at home. He's just making himself some food.
Amazing.
I'm sure one of the servants would be like, we could make you something.
Oh no, it's okay. I can make it.
If it pleases you, then the kitchen is yours, as Savoy has said, and walks out.
I
Wait,
think
did you want
Tilda's-
some food too?
Oh no, it's fine.
Hello?
And tutters off to go dust something.
Well, so I'm fairly convinced that it's part of like the contract that they have to be dramatic in some way if they work for Savoy. And that's why you have someone whose name is literally Barnabas Earls. You've got Barnabas, Earls, and Jenkins as the butlers.
You know what? I bet you that might not even be their real names. That's just the names
Oh my
that Savoy gives them.
So basically like strippers is what you're saying.
Oh my god.
That's their day job. I mean, what?
So I think Tilda's probably like leaning on the doorway into the kitchen, just watching Jonas and just silently amused at what's going on.
After a second, Jonas will look over and be like, "Oh, hey Doc, do you want some food?"
What are you making?
What's in the fridge?
There would be a little bit of everything in the fridge, and primarily the high-end stuff. So no deli, like none of that prepackaged deli meat. Like there's like a ham shank in there that's already got deli meat slices coming off of it, and like a little
so
butter
attacked right
tray
now.
made out of crystal. I don't know. That's what I imagine rich people would have in their fridge.
It's amazing.
So I was thinking we could either have like some paninis or maybe like some fried egg and fried rice with some fried salmon, or we could just have like steak. I could cook us some steak.
There's leftover Chinese takeout, but only fancy leftover Chinese takeout.
Like from 2 towns over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Delivery only.
Costs about $100 to get it there, but hey.
Sure. All of that sounds good. Whatever you want to make, I'll take some.
Well, now I can't decide. Should we just have a little bit of all of it?
Sure, why not?
So Jonas is going to make all of it.
Amazing.
And Tilda's just very amused that Jonas is doing all of this.
So probably about halfway through dinner preparation, Savoy would come back downstairs. With the box of oranges in their arms, not making direct eye contact with Tilda, but like their haggard expression has most certainly softened, and there might be a little bit of redness in their cheeks. And Savoy places the carton of clementines on the counter and kind of mumbles a thank you to Tilda. And then kind of walks off, like doesn't really
Fancy fucking
acknowledge
clementines.
Jonas, and walks out to go and find something and comes back with like a bowl in which they pour all the clementines into.
Amazing.
So Tilda just watches this with like just the slightest hint of a smirk at the corner of her lips, barely
Amazing.
perceptible. And just says, "Oh, you found the satsumas. I hope you like them."
I do very much, thank you.
It's Savoy! Hey, Savoy!
Jonas.
Okay, how
Oh, yeah.
tall is Savoy?
Jonas
How
is here,
tall is the
by
boy?
the way.
Savoy's 6'4".
Okay, Jonas is gonna do it anyways.
Oh God.
Jonas is gonna run
that's
over to
never a good
Savoy
sign.
and like try to lift them up in a big, friendly, maybe a little bit more than
Hold
friendly
them
hug.
up 4 inches from the ground, like their toes are still touching the ground.
I think Tilda's pulling a Venny right now and just going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
That better not
Savoy's
count
like,
on my
"Oh."
counter.
Oh,
It doesn't.
And, like, pats Jonas's head. It's good to see you too.
Jonas puts Savoy down and is like, "Oh my gosh, how was your trip?"
It was terrible. Straightens themselves out.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure like everything that happened here was terrible too. So, it's all the same. Hey, you want some dinner? I'm making some dinner. You want some dinner?
The servants aren't making it.
Jonas insisted on making it himself.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have some dinner.
Oh
Which
my.
finger is the ring on?
It's Savoy put it on their index finger on their left hand.
Jonas, do I need to roll for this or can Jonas just notice it?
You can just notice it, sure.
Okay. Oh, that's some nice jewelry you got there. You get that on your trip?
Tilda's just gonna interject quickly and be like, "No, I gave it to them."
Oh, that's a very
Savoy
thoughtful
just
gift, Doc.
blinks. It's like, it's so that I don't get teleported into the pseudo prison that has been set up here. The house is warded now. And like bumbles with excuses.
If you guys, I could just make you guys a dinner and then I could leave.
No,
He
Jonas.
seems a little bit
Jonas.
disappointed, but he's being a good sport.
Jonas, you don't have to leave. From what it sounds like you are implying that there is something going on, and there is nothing going on.
Jonas could always go have dinner with Mira.
Jonas offered to be Mira's dinner.
Blood sausage, blood.
All the different ways you can prepare blood, and it's probably at Mira's house.
So,
Jonas, you're fine. If you don't want to make dinner, you don't have to. There's nothing going on. I'm happy to have you here. It's been a long week, and it sounds like your guys' week has been equally long.
Yeah, there was the whole theft thing, and then the very very rude delivery boy.
You mean Faith dropped the potion off?
Yes.
Amazing.
By walking into my bedroom without knocking.
Of course. Faith would definitely do something like that.
Yeah.
They're harmless.
Yeah.
They're just, family friends would not be the appropriate term for it, but they are what they are, and they come and go as they please. Faith and Selena.
Okay, well, good to know he wasn't lying about that. Given, we had somebody steal something, I was concerned.
Of course. I understand being on edge. The potion that they dropped off, is that,
Yes.
where is that?
It's in my room, secured on a shelf.
Would you mind obtaining that for me? I don't want to walk into your room uninvited.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're welcome in my bedroom. But I can go get it for you. It's no problem.
Jonas is just sitting there looking back and forth between Tilda and Savoy as they have this exchange, and he's just like slowly working on the food and like dishing it out for people. And then he's like, what was that, Raven?
Oh, I didn't want to cut you off. I was going to say, I'm not going to lie. Tilda definitely is flirting with Savoy, but also is taking some small measure of amusement at giving Jonas the wrong idea.
Savoy's like, I'm too tired for this.
But Tilda runs up to her room and grabs the package.
So when Savoy gets it, Savoy actually pulls out the flask that they always have on them, unscrews the top and pours the contents of the bottle in, washes the bottle and sets it in a very distinct place on the counter where one would assume somebody takes care of it and brings it back to them later.
Nice.
Much appreciated. You know how much those bottles would cost? And I mean, yeah.
Yeah. With the flask, they definitely take a swig of whatever the contents of that is, and they put it back and puts it back in their pocket and sits back down and is like, Jonas, this actually looks pretty damn amazing. I don't think I've had a home cooked meal in God knows how long.
Wow, thanks. I'm glad it looks good.
Is this ham fried rice and steak with fish?
Yes.
All right.
And eggs and paninis.
Savoy just shovels it all onto the panini bread and makes a sandwich out of it all.
It's good to know that Savoy is actually a trash panda. All right.
That's probably about the amount of time it would take for Tilda to get the thing and come back. So she'll probably be back, I would assume, somewhere right around there with the package for Savoy.
Excellent. So do they all sit down for dinner then? While Savoy's eating a giant sandwich, everything sandwich?
I think so. I think Tilda's dished up, like the ideal portions, so it's not a ton of food. Like the 5-star restaurant size portions of everything. Neatly on a plate with like all the correct silverware, so like a different fork for the fish than for the steak. And is very delicately cutting the steak.
How does Jonas eat their food?
Like a normal person.
A little fork for everything, not on a sandwich.
He has his separate meals separate, all on the same plate though, and then he just eats it as it goes. And then partway through dinner, Jonas just casually asks, hey, is there like a blood bank here or nearby? I was thinking about donating.
You know what? I was actually thinking of something similar, and I contacted the hospital earlier this week to find out what their blood donation was, and they actually have a in-house facility for processing, testing, and packaging blood. In an effort I understand that Mira stole your book, Tilda, but I think we're
Mhm.
going to need all the help that we can get. I don't know the circumstance in which your book was stolen. I would like to assume that it was out of necessity for survival, but I can't say for sure. But I think that we need Mira on our team.
I
And
agree. I don't have much animosity towards Mira for taking the book. It wasn't part of our expedition here. It came from somewhere else. I don't know who it actually belongs to. Um, I'm just mad that she handled it so improperly, and I hope it wasn't damaged in the process. Like, I just need to give her a old book handling course. I will be happy.
all right, we'll see what we can do in regards to that. But on that note, Jonas, funny you should mention that. Um, I have had the hospital separate about 4 gallons coolers worth of blood from their stores under the pretense of something you don't need to know the details of, to have them shipped here so that we can take that to Mira.
Wait, so did everybody know that Mira was like a vampire except for me? And what about a missing book?
Wait, you didn't? You haven't told him?
I mean, weren't you there when we were talking about red caps and everything, Jonas?
Yeah, but I thought I was the only one who made the connection. I didn't realize everybody else made the connection.
Jonas, I say this out of love. If you made the connection, we all probably already made it too.
Wow, Doc, thanks for telling me how you really feel.
It's just like, I know that's blunt. I'm trying to help you, Jonas.
Wow.
You know what? I did not lose my appetite, but I am gonna take my food to go because I gotta go to the hospital for unrelated reasons.
Why are you going to the hospital, Jonas?
I mean,
Because
I've got an infirmary set up here. I could probably check out whatever if it's nothing major.
Are you a phlebotomist?
I know how to draw blood.
Oh, could you draw me like some blood and just give me my blood, and then I'm gonna take that to go too.
Jonas, your behavior is really strange. What's going on?
Jonas, Jesus Christ.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask.
He wants
Also,
to use the blood as a sauce, Tilda. Fuck off. Nobody asked you, Tilda.
So, but Tilda does sort
Mind
of.
your business, Tilda, okay?
Tilda kind of puts her hand on
Oh,
Jonas's
God.
hand and is just like, so I really hope I'm not the most tactful sometimes, so I hope what I said earlier wasn't like really offensive. I was just trying to let you know, like, just talk to us if you have a thought like that. There's a good chance we're on the same page already.
Funny thing, I didn't even have that thought until I decided to have that thought.
Okay.
Jonas, what does that mean, Jonas? What does that mean?
Oh
Okay. So just, I'm not a medical doctor, but I still feel like there's certain ethical things that I need to take into consideration, so I do have to ask, why do you want me to draw blood for you and then you run away?
Well, I was gonna take it to go with my food
Right.
because
Well, you're still in the house,
feel
so I
like-
assume you haven't turned into a vampire.
I have not turned
Vampire
into
would
a
drink their own blood.
I have not turned into a vampire, but
Also a vampire.
I was
Rowan.
just thinking that if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit curious. But also, I don't want to answer your question. So are you going to do it for me or not?
Yeah, Tilda.
Oh my god.
Nobody
Oh my
asked you,
Oh my God.
Mira.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
He's just the voice in everybody's head, like, yeah.
Savoy's going
So-
to interject here
Okay.
and just be like, Jonas, I'm getting the feeling that you feel a little attacked at the moment, and I don't think that's what anybody really, like, their intention is. You can do whatever it is that you want. You've kept my secrets and worked hard enough to keep this town's secrets under wraps for however long you've been here. And it's not my place to ask or judge or even question why you do the things that you do. But we're just worried about your safety. And I can have a phlebotomist meet you at the hospital doors if you would like. If you don't feel comfortable having your blood taken here.
See,
Jonas came out to have a good time, and he's honestly feeling so attacked right now.
Oh, I just want to hug Jonas.
So
I'm
Tilda,
trying so hard.
Tilda
I'm
just
so
responds.
tired.
and so see, Savoy's much better at the whole communicating with other people thing.
Peopling.
Yeah. So that's kind of basically what I meant. I just wanted to know, because I learning that magic is real now and all this stuff, and I know blood can be used in a lot of ways to hurt people if it gets out of their hands. So I just, making sure that you're not using it for some sort of blood ritual or magic spell or something like that where bad things could happen to you.
Whoa, I didn't even think about that. No, it's not for a blood ritual.
Okay.
It's just other stuff. But no,
Okay.
I'm not feeling attacked. I just am a little bit thrown off because I didn't realize you guys were an item.
We are not an item, Jonas.
Okay, so that's fine. But also, I mean,
I'm not really big into labels, Jonas, so,
oh, well. But I feel like this situation has gotten to a point where it's not going to not be awkward. So I'm just going to take my food, and Tilda, if you want to give me some of my blood, or I could go to the hospital.
Jonas, I would be happy to take you up to the infirmary and draw some blood for you.
Oh, thanks, Doc. You're the best.
I try.
Dang it.
Yeah, this is the kind of dinner we're having.
I was not prepared for this amount of awkward.
It's amazing.
That's so good. So, Tilda will very neatly set her plate aside with the silverware in the appropriate space to where it's like a signal that I'm still eating, not please take my plate. And we'll escort Jonas up to the infirmary.
Savoy
right.
stays downstairs because Savoy is very awkward right now.
Speaking of very awkward, it's actually as Tilda and Jonas are gone, Savoy, you get a call.
Savoy
It's
answers the
from-
call.
Selena Moonstone is what the caller ID says. And she
Excellent.
says, well, hey, hello, Savoy. Hi. It's me. Yes. I assume you get your package okay? Are you back home yet?
Yes, I just arrived today. The package was received, and I cleaned out the bottle for you. Barnaby should be dropping that off tomorrow morning.
Okay, beautiful, wonderful. that's actually not specifically why I called. Although it's good
Mhm.
to hear that you got it. Faith was just all sassy about the
Yeah, I
fact
heard
that no one
about
was
it.
actually answering the door. Yeah, well,
I heard about
yes.
it. I'm so sorry that somebody wasn't there to answer the door. And for everything that transpired, though the details aren't clear. Anyways, what was it that you needed?
So hey, I actually had a question. Do we have a problem with leeches recently in around Tickfaw? Do you know?
What do you mean?
Uh okay. Well, I'm at the hospital right now with Faith. Faith had his earlobe bitten off by what the doctors think is a leech. Do leeches do that? I don't think leeches do that.
Leeches shouldn't be doing that. Fuck.
Well, I don't know specifically what my son was doing, putting leeches in his ear. He said that
Was
he
there
didn't.
any
But,
further damage other than the earlobe being bitten off?
I mean, no, not
Has there
that,
been
not
any
that we're
strange
aware.
behavior? Has Faith exhibited anything unusual?
Not that I know of. I mean, it's not like he's. What do you think? Like that he would be possessed by the devil or something, like through a leech?
You know what? I'm not the person to say whether somebody's possessed by the devil or not.
Okay, fair enough. Bad question. I admit.
Just keep an eye. We don't have a leech problem right now. We have had other problems that make me a little bit wary as to what this could mean. Just keep an eye on
Yes, with
Faith.
the giant alligators. I heard about that.
Yes. The
Though I get the
giant
feeling that's not the full.
alligators.
I get the feeling that's not the full picture, but secrets and all.
You're
I'm
not
good
going to
for
get
it.
the full picture.
That's fine.
Keep an eye on Faith. Give me a call tomorrow to let me know how he's doing.
Yes, absolutely. Boy, I could even have him call you and give the details himself. I know
That
he's a
would
little
be
bit
great.
sassy, but
It's okay.
I mean,
I've never had a
better.
problem with Faith. He's always welcome in my home, even if he does disturb my house guests.
Yes. Well, he tends to do that, doesn't he? He disturbs the customers too. He's a little disturbing. Anyways, it's probably better if he says it. I know he gets embarrassed about me telling all his details as his
That's
mother.
fine.
He's an
Have him
adult.
call me in the morning. After he's slept on it, so to speak. The doctor's given him whatever that they can give him to help with that.
Yes, packing or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Have him call me in the morning.
Fabulous. Sure. Well, welcome home, by the way.
Thank you. Will you also let Faith know that if he happens to see this leech again, if he could manage to get it in a jar?
Yeah, I mean, the situation was kind of weird. You'll have to talk to him yourself. And he'll explain it a lot better, but
You know what? Instead of a phone call, why don't you come have breakfast with me tomorrow? 9
like
a.m. sound good?
me or both of us.
Both of you.
Okay, fabulous. Yes, no, that's totally fine. They're not keeping him overnight or anything. It was just,
Right. It's just lacerations from some manner of
it's just a missing
parasite.
earlobe,
Right. It's not that he's going to be scarred forever or anything. Thank you for giving me a call. Was there a particular reason why you called me?
Yes, a little bit. It's just when things weird happens in town, I know that you're the one to talk to. Well, we both know that I do deal in the occult. As far as it dealing with the town specifically, I know that that's your whole MO and,
All right. Enough said.
Hey, anytime.
See you tomorrow morning. I hope that Faith recovers quickly.
As do I. He's, pardon my French, but bitching quite a bit. It's not bad for a mom to say. Does that make me a bad mom?
No, I wouldn't think so. But I also have no idea what parenting should look like.
Neither do I. But hey, we all are just faking it until we make it.
Excellent. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I hope you have a good evening, Selena.
Yes, you too. And she hangs up.
So while I'd just like to add this like little cliff note, while Tilda and Jonas have gone upstairs to do the bloodletting, so to speak, Savoy is going to open their liquor cabinet and gratuitously help themselves to anything that's in there.
Amazing. It's going to be one of those nights.
It's one of those nights. And that's it.
Amazing. Let's go to Mira. Thank you for your patience, Vanessa.
I'm enjoying just listening just as much as actually playing. So don't worry.
That's amazing. So, it's the evening time. It's dinner time. You have been running low on supply, as we addressed earlier. It has been a few days, so I assume that you've somehow gotten a refill from something, right? Someone, maybe.
How long has it been since Jonas stopped by?
A few days.
Then yes, probably would have gone already.
Okay. And unfortunately, you do not have a car. Maybe you called an Uber.
I would probably say that despite the difficulties, I guess, and despite her better judgment, she would have hunted closer to home.
Okay.
Yeah. She's very like she ran out. She didn't realize how low she was getting. So it was more so of like danger zone. I need food now.
Yes. That is going to make things a little difficult for you later on, as that means there's another missing person in Tickfaw or in Springfield.
I don't think she would have taken this one.
Okay.
Because, I'm thinking that maybe she took a day or two to kind of plan this out the best that she could, and because it was just a run for necessity. I think that it would have been a little bit different than usual, and especially so close to home. He doesn't want that to come back right now. So I don't think she would have taken anybody this time.
Okay, so snuck into someone's house in the middle of the night in Blood Zone? Is that what we're talking? They wake up like, why is my wrist bleeding? Like,
more so like jump someone in an alley, like when it's dark out kind of deal.
You're like a tourist?
There you go.
There's a couple of tourists, but not like a ton. Have you met Naomi?
I don't think.
Like, would you have recognized her?
I think didn't she see Naomi briefly at some point? Like, I feel like she's seen her in passing, but they've never spoken.
Yes, so you would know. I think for Mira's protection, she tends to get to know at least the locals, so that nothing would negatively reflect on her. But Naomi's brand new to town. She's only been here for like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks now. So are you looking for a face that you don't recognize?
Are you asking me if Mira literally eat Naomi? Is that doing here? Are you asking me if Mira is trying to jump Naomi for her blood?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking.
I really feel like Mira must know briefly who she, like, I feel like she must have seen her in passing at some point, especially because she's been snooping around the other people that she's familiar with.
Mhm.
So I don't think, no. Let's go with no. She would not have taken down Naomi.
Okay, that would have been interesting, but
Mira's here to draw attention right now.
So are you just leaving a body? Is that what's happening instead of taking the whole body?
Yeah, so I guess the plan, the thing that would be most viable for her is to make it look like an animal attack.
Okay.
And probably leave the body closer to like the wooded parts so that it kind of fits like a more so of like an animal attack.
Okay. All right. So
Are they still alive?
Yes.
and then with your fairy magic, you probably made them forget, right?
Yeah.
I would like you to actually roll for that. Let's see how much they remember.
Okay.
Roll magic. That's plus weird. I forget that I don't have to roll anything.
That's 12.
12. All right, that's a success. They don't remember anything. You managed to wipe their memory clean. So it's a clean getaway, although alarming.
Yeah.
I mean, not your cleanest job because of desperation, but
Yeah.
yes, you managed to take care of it. That means, Lily has been in your care for about a week and a half now, ish, as well.
Right.
There's been a few more times that she's tried to sneak out, and in general, you haven't really gotten contact from Temryu, the prince, since what happened in the forest with the ogre.
Mhm.
So it's actually that day, I think, just before Jonas arrives.
Yeah.
Where Lily comes out of her room and tugs on your dress. The hem of your dress or whatever you're wearing. What are you wearing, Mira? No, I'm kidding. Pencil skirt. I don't know.
At home, she's probably just like comfy clothes. I feel like Mira's just a vegetable at home.
Fabulous. So she comes out and tugs on your clothes, and it's like the prince wants to talk to you.
Because of the way that Mira's been having to kind of get her blood, because she's not able to go anywhere and actually get anything substantial, she's been in a bad mood. She's a little worse for wear. She's a little disheveled. She doesn't look as good as she usually does. So when Lily mentions the prince, she kind of gets a little short with her, and she kind of barks back at her, and she's like, well, maybe I'm not in the mood to talk.
Oh, okay. I'll tell him. And she wanders off.
Mira goes to find her because she feels bad. She follows after Lily, and she's just like, no, wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped at you. It's not your fault. I'll talk to him.
I wasn't mad.
Mira kind of chuckles a little bit. It's like, okay, well, I'll still talk to him.
Okay, I'll let him know. She pauses for a sec, and then her body language changes. It's been kind of interesting because since getting the book, it seems like Temryu, like as for before, it was kind of more of a disembodied voice that kind of was being projected from Lily, but now it seems like it's kind of like for a moment Lily's taken over, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw this back with the ogre as well.
Right.
And Temryu's like, Mira, I'm glad you changed your mind. I'm sorry that you've been having a difficult time with things.
Mira kind of ignores him for a second, and she looks at him and she's like, don't you ever find it a little weird that you're taking over a child's body? I don't know, that just seems a little off to me.
I have my reasons, as I know you do yours for what you do. So let's leave it at that, shall we? Now, Mira, what?
She goes with it. She doesn't have any other comment.
Mm-hmm. Well, you did a wonderful job returning my book to me, but there is another something of mine that has resurfaced. I'm not sure where, I just know it's here somewhere. Perhaps you could be of help.
What is
I just wouldn't want it to be in the wrong hands. It's
Huh? She just says like, oh, of course, naturally.
It's a necklace, a locket, in the shape of, those human drawings of a heart, perhaps. It doesn't look like a real heart. I don't know why they call it a heart in the first place.
How
it just
boring.
seemed to work. Boring, perhaps, but important nevertheless.
All right, so it's a necklace in the shape of a not heart. What am I supposed to do?
A symbolic heart. Find it and return it to Lily. She'll know what to do.
And why is it that you think that I'm so prepared to run your errands for you? I got you
Well,
your book.
It's either that or I have Lily do it.
And what makes you think that I'm so concerned about the well-being of one human child?
You've been concerned up to this point. I've been watching. You've been taking very good care of her. And that's admirable. She's very special to me, too.
Well, maybe it's in my best interest that she be cared for. Maybe it has nothing to do with her at all.
So what you were saying is you're keeping her as a snack for later?
Mira does a little pace around the room. And she her body language is closed off. She doesn't want to dignify that with a response. So she tries to just kind of keep her attitude a little more neutral. Then she turns around to face Lily again. And she just says, I'm not saying that I'm keeping her for that reason. I'm just saying that perhaps I don't want her getting into anybody else's hands and blowing my cover. That's all.
So concerned about your cover. Isn't there a wonderful group of humans, if that's what you would call the shapeshifter, body snatcher, whatever, that seem to know? If you aren't interested in helping me, I could go to one of them instead.
Mira kind of thinks it over a little bit. And she tries to kind of think of the implications that would have. And she doesn't want to give away her hand. And I'm not even totally sure she knows what her hand is at this point. because she's in a situation now where she came into this thinking that she wanted something specific, and now things are happening and she's not quite sure anymore. So to be helping Temryu and to be actually quite fond of Lily despite what she's saying to him,
Yes.
she truly does like having this tiny little gremlin human child in her house. Like she's starting to warm up to Lily a bit more.
Right.
But she still carries so much of this anger with her. Like it's at this point it's still a part of who she is as a person. So she doesn't say anything to him about going to them. She kind of retreats into her thoughts a little bit more and almost forgets that he's there, because she's trying to go through her thought process and kind of disassemble what she's feeling. So she kind of forgets about him for a minute.
So he tries waiting, but he gets like kind of like shaky, and he's like, "There's not a lot of time, Mira. I'll have you think on it." And as she's still processing, it's back to Lily, who just kind of blinks at her.
When she sees that Lily's back, she kind of slowly walks over to her and puts her hand on Lily's head and kind of like ruffles her hair.
You aren't really gonna eat me for a snack, are you?
No, Lily, I'm not going to eat you for a snack, despite the fact that I am very hungry. That's more of like, it takes more of a joking tone at the end. Like, she's just pulling Lily's leg a little bit.
It's like, oh, I understand being hungry. I was hungry. I was hungry for a while.
But now you have your Pop-Tarts, don't you, kid? And she ruffles her hair.
Pop-Tarts. These Pop-Tarts, they're good. They're good.
I wouldn't know. I'll take your word for it.
I think there was a time where my humans wouldn't give me Pop-Tarts. They said it was too much sugar. The way she said that is kind of strange. Like, my humans.
Yeah. Mira doesn't take notice of that. She blows past that, and she kind of ruffles, like, scrunches up her nose a little bit. And she's just like, well, there's nobody here to stop you now, so you can eat as many Pop-Tarts as you want.
I am on top of the world. And I think that's about the point where Jonas gets there.
So Mira, I assume that Mira and Lily kind of have like a system in place now. Like I feel like they've done.
So as soon as there's a knock on the door, Lily kind of looks at it and then looks at Mira like, do I have to?
And Mira just nods.
If it's one of your friends, can I come out?
Not yet. Maybe one day.
Okay. Okay. And
she doesn't comment on the word friends either.
Yeah. And so she sighs and just trudges back into her room.
So Mira goes to open the door. Hello. She opens the door.
Hello.
Oh, hey, you look really nice.
This is quite honestly not the case. Jonas, as the narrative voice, Jonas was lying.
No, Jonas actually has this thing.
Narrative voice is my line.
I mean, outside of
my job, I have one job.
Her demeanor, but like her outfit, Jonas actually really likes a relaxed outfit.
she looks down at her clothes and she looks back up to him. And kind of in the vein of how Savoy was kind of out of sorts, Mira doesn't quite seem herself. She seems a little bit anxious. And her body language is a little more tight. But she doesn't open the door all the way for him. Every time he comes to see her, it's more so like she opens the door like 5 inches and talks through it. So she just kind of looks at him and she's like, "What can I help you with?"
I was actually wondering if you wanted some dinner. I brought some dinner, and I brought you some dinner, and he holds up this bag of his blood.
You didn't try to bring me pig's blood again, did you, Jonas?
No, I didn't.
Now she's interested. She opens the door like 1 more inch. And her eyes kind of like there's a little more life in them now. And so she's intrigued. She says, "What kind is it then? What do you have?"
So I hope this isn't weird, but this is my blood?
I hope this isn't weird, he says. Mira is kind of like,
What type is it, Jonas? Is it AB positive? Mira only takes AB positive. No, I'm kidding.
Mira's very picky with like the type of blood. She has to like check driver's license before she kills people.
Is that on driver's license? Is it?
It
I
was
don't know.
at
I
this
know the
moment
blood,
that he knew.
the organ
He
donor
fucked
thing is
up.
on driver's license. I'm not sure about blood type.
Because I mean, I'm fairly certain about my blood type, but I don't think that was ever something that was actually like verified to me. So if that's on there and I didn't know,
I don't think it is. But anyway, she has like a tester kind of kit that she like drops blood into and checks the fucking type of it first. I don't know. Anyway, she kind of cocks her head a little bit. It's like, "What do you mean it's yours?"
I mean, it's my blood. I just had a needle in my arm, and it went into the bag, and now it's here.
Mira's just like, "Why?"
I don't know. I made dinner for everybody else. I thought I'd make you dinner too.
If Mira didn't hate humans, she'd be so touched right now. She actually she opens the door for him. She does. She opens the door for him and she steps aside and she like motions him in.
Jonas kind of makes himself at home, and he starts like heading towards the kitchen, and he's like, "So do you need this? Do you like use a straw or?"
Before Mira closes the door, she like sticks her head out cartoon style and like looks around to see if there's anybody there. Like, is this a prank? Like, are there humans?
are there cameras?
Ma'am, hello? Like, what's going on?
Ma'am, hello.
Ma'am,
You're
hello?
so funny. Oh my gosh.
When she sees that there's nobody else with him, she closes the door. Her body language is still tense. She's clearly hungry. So
Hangry even.
yeah, she's hangry. She's actually deciding if she wants to drink straight from the bag of blood that he has, or if she'll be civilized and spare him that and put it in a glass. So she kind of keeps her distance from him a little bit too, which is interesting. And she just motions for him to set it down and says, you can leave it on the counter.
Oh, okay. You sure you don't want me to put it in like a cup or a bowl or anything for you?
A bowl. Black tomato soup.
Yeah.
I was about to say with the grilled cheese.
Yes.
She gives him a look.
A grilled liver.
Like,
Oh.
just put the fucking blood down, Jonas. Like, it's fine. Just put it on the counter.
Jonas just sets it on the counter.
Oh man.
He's like, so, I mean, I brought my food too, so I was thinking we could eat together, but if you want, I could just leave.
Mira
I'd rather not.
Mira circles around the long way. She like goes around the kitchen table to avoid him. And then she like motions for him to go sit with his food. And she's like, no, it's okay. You can stay, I guess.
Sweet.
She's trying to figure out what kind of ulterior motive is going on here. Like her brain is working overtime. And after having just kind of dealt with that with Temryu, she's having it, man. She's really in her headspace. So she tries her best to be as civilized as possible. She gets like a glass from the cupboard and rips the bag open as nicely as she can, which she does not succeed at completely. It's more so like an accidentally rip the whole side out and almost spill it everywhere, but she manages to get it into a glass, and then she raises the glass to her mouth, but before she takes a sip, she just like looks at Jonas to see what he's doing.
Jonas is just like watching her, and then when she looks back at Jonas is like, "Oh yeah, I'm eating," and just is like staring at her while he's eating.
Oh my god. She like weirdly picks up the glass and kind of turns her back to him a little bit. Like she doesn't know if she wants him to really see how hungry she is. But she chugs it back. Like really, like she just chugs it back. When she's done, she just kind of like she puts the glass down on the counter and she looks a little bit better even. Like her skin is not so pale. Like the tension in her body is a little bit better. Like she's straightening up. Like her posture is a little bit better. She seems better.
So, be honest. Was it gross? Does my blood taste gross?
Mira gives him a look like she has no idea what the hell is going on here. And she's just like, no, of course not. Why would it? Did you do something to it?
No, I was just wondering. If my blood tastes gross. I guess it doesn't. And Jonas seems just very pleased. Very pleased with himself. Just.
Would his blood taste any different because of his magic?
Ooh, that's a good question. See, the thing is the type of magic that in the game that we played before, where I kind of homebrewed stuff together, is a human-based magic.
Right.
So it's based upon books and learning and the whole magic.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't, I don't think. It would, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of a tang, like from the pagan people that lived in your bubble, your dimension, Mira.
Yeah.
That is lost in modern day humans, maybe. But that's really it. So I don't know if that's like a tangible difference. How do you decide that? But it's not like, say, back in the old campaign, the Wilder folk who are just have absorbed, or humans who absorbed magic and became something else, because it's just a different kind of magic altogether.
I'd say, yeah, even if it's like the smallest little difference, I'd say she'd probably pick up on it. just because at this point she's so used to having blood that's completely devoid of magic, that
Right.
even kind of that little bit of perk is like, interesting.
I imagine children taste that way too.
Yeah, because they still have their magic in a sense.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. Just on that topic, I don't think Mira would be drinking the blood of children. So I think we can all rest a little easier on that. So
Scott
in case you
standards
guys
here.
yeah, just in case you guys were wondering, there's a line apparently.
I'm a straight up vampire with standards.
Of course, there always has to be a standard, and Mira has them. So there were no children harmed in the playing of this campaign, so it's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a hint of cardamom. Like I don't know.
Yeah, so she definitely notices it. It's very interesting to her. But when she's done, she sets the glass down, and she really just looks at Jonas like she's trying her best to find some sort of negative ulterior motive, how this could have benefited him, because obviously she's not ready to let go of the notion that that the Fae are like inferior to humans. So she's really trying to figure out why he would do this for her. So it's just kind of like an awkward moment of her really staring intensely at him while he's eating his own food.
Listen, I'm sorry. Jonas notices that she's staring very intently at him, and he gets a little bit nervous and first checks to make sure he doesn't have any food on his face, and then he's like,
oh
I'd love to offer you more blood, but I can't for another 8 weeks. But I think Savoy said something about she's having the hospital set aside some bags of blood for you, so I mean we could ask her if you're still
the more
hungry.
Jonas talks, just the more confused she gets, and it makes her a little bit angry because she can't figure out what is going on, because if it's not an ulterior motive, then it's kindness, and she doesn't know how to deal with that, and especially not from a human being. So she starts to get a little bit agitated, and she can't quite understand why he would do that for her, or why Savoy would even go to the trouble of doing that, and she's really having a hard time. So she can she's visibly getting a little bit agitated, in a different way than the kind of hunger that she was experiencing. More so like her energy is pent up now. She's just agitated, she doesn't know what's happening.
That's sorry, go ahead.
So I mean I could just leave, or I mean is there something wrong? What did I do wrong?
She doesn't say anything to him, but she turns around and she opens the cupboard, and she gets a new glass, and she opens the fridge, and she takes out the orange juice that she keeps for Lily, and she just wordlessly fills up a glass and goes and sets it on the table for him in front of his plate of food.
Jonas's eyes just light up. So excited. He loves orange juice.
Especially the kind with vodka in it. Oh.
He's just
it's orange juice for Lily, so there's none of that.
Last one had champagne in it, by the way. It wasn't vodka.
Whatever. One of those alcohols.
Screwdriver, mimosa, whatever.
Then he's just like, oh, thanks. I completely forgot to bring a drink for myself. I have to have drinks with my food, otherwise it just gets stuck in my throat and then it doesn't feel good. But thanks.
In just like the driest tone ever, Mira looks at him and she's like, yeah, I have to drink with my food as well.
Jonas just laughs. He just like, not like a burst out laughing, but just kind of like in between like a chuckle and choking on his food because he was not expecting that.
Mira gives him a good old like pat on the back. And it's not like a gentle pat. Like she's trying to dislodge the food that's like maybe choking him. She doesn't know what's going on.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, she stops and she turns around and sits down at the table.
Now, Mira.
Mm-hmm.
So you sense, like now that you are sitting down or a little bit calmer, with all the interaction with Jonas and his blood and everything, you didn't notice it before, but there was a faintest hint of magic in the air. Magic that you didn't cast. You get a similar feeling whenever Temryu is around.
Can she tell? Can she pinpoint where it's coming from? Like, can she tell if it's coming from where Lily is, or if it's or is it just like a general?
I would say, yeah, you can probably tell like it's coming in the vicinity of Lily's room.
She stands up abruptly, and doesn't even like say excuse me or I'll be right back. She goes back to Lily's room, and she closes the door behind her.
Lily is gone, and so is the book. And with that, we're going to take a break.
There we go. So we'll be back in about... Couldn't get my mic unmuted. We'll be back in about 5-10 minutes. Everybody give yourselves a chance to hydrate, bio, grab a snack, whatever you need to do. But definitely stretch your legs or move around, get the blood flowing, that sort of thing. And we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Thank you.
back. And everybody's in the wrong spot.
Oh no! Oh no!
All right, we're gonna play some musical cameras here for a second. Let me have it. Yasmin, Riley, and Rowan, turn your cameras off for me. Actually, Riley, you're good. Rowan, turn yours back on. And Yasmin. Yay, there we go. Yay! So we're back. So we're gonna find out what happens with Mira and Jonas, you know, with them being in love and whatnot.
But I'm eating a hot dog. There's no
Me
time
too.
to love, only hot dogs.
Well,
I mean,
okay.
it's up to Rowan. We could go back to Tilda and Savoy, who are having
Yes,
dinner
we are
alone.
going back to Tilda and Savoy. We are doing
Let me just
that.
eat one hot dog and then I'll be right with you.
No. We're going to go back to Tilda and Savoy.
It's fine. I can inhale my hot dogs.
No, don't choke. We kind of like you. I don't want you to die.
Oh, kind of. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. All right,
If
you
it
go
makes
do
you
your
feel any
thing.
better,
I'll
I
eat my hot dog.
actually like you, Vanessa, unlike Rowan, who just kind of likes you.
You know,
Hey, listen,
Raven and I
longer,
have had
hands off.
a much. I was just gonna say, Raven and I have had a much shorter friendship, and she's already being nicer to me.
Hey, listen. I was friends with you when you were 11 or 12. However old. And I've stuck with you since then.
Are you talking about me?
Yes. You.
Rowan? I was 14.
Who cares?
You mean 11 or 12?
You
I
were
was-
tiny bops.
Oh my god.
You're literally like 6 months older than me. Anyway, this is not interesting to the viewers. Can we move on?
Meanwhile, back at the estate.
So, Tilda, you have just finished drawing blood, and Jonas is left.
Yes. Tilda, cleans up.
Dinner boy.
Oh, you just went super robot there. I think I missed half of what you just said. What did you say?
I just asked, do you go back to Savoy?
Yeah, Tilda would obviously clean up the infirmary, wash her hands, and then go back down to finish eating her dinner very politely and properly.
So Tilda would walk in, and Savoy is pouring more whiskey into a glass where there's ice cubes, but the ice cubes are almost chips now, to give you the impression that Savoy's maybe had 3 or 4 drinks since you've been gone. And Savoy turns around looking all hoity-toity and says, "Well, welcome back, Tilda. I assume Jonas left." And giggles
Yes,
to themselves.
I got him his blood, and then he left with food and the blood, and I have no idea what he's gonna do with it, but at any rate, he's happy. Rough day. She kind of nods to the glass.
You have no idea. I mean, you have some of an idea, but it's a fraction of the whole idea. And like, Savoy's almost slurring. And they kind of like saunter back over with both the bottle and the cup, and they sit down in their seat and throw back another glass and start pouring another.
So, I'm definitely not telling you how much you should drink or not drink, but would you like a glass of water to go with that so you don't have a bad hangover tomorrow?
Oh, a hangover is going to be nothing compared to this fucking week.
Okay. Just saying, if your pain tolerance is super high, but you could still avoid the tiny pain, that seems like a worthwhile endeavor.
And Savoy just like turns their head to the side and shouts, Barnaby!
It's Barnabas, but thank you.
Arnie, bring me water! And just
Yes, ma'am.
like turns around and like hunches over, like laughing to themselves, like in absolutely not Savoy fashion at all.
so
Go ahead.
oh, sorry, go ahead. Tilda's gonna like take a sip of her probably coffee.
Coffee with dinner, of course.
Of course. So, just shot in the dark here. Am I talking to some version of Zaheel?
No, I'm too happy at the bottom of a glass for Zaheel to make any sense right now. You know what? You seem like a whiskey girl. And sets the bottle down in front of Tilda. You should have a drink too.
Oh, hell. Of course, that seems like a fantastic idea to Tilda right now, so...
Barnabas comes in with 2 glasses of water.
Yes, that's why I hired him.
He's very good at his job.
Don't worry, Miss Tilda. You get used to this.
It's true.
Well, I wasn't worried. I find it refreshing, to be honest.
That makes one of us.
Barnaby, you old coot, you've been doing this too long.
It's Barnabas or Barney. I tell you this every time.
Slap the
so-
table.
What kind of whiskey is it?
It's Deep South, Black Label, homegrown whiskey. I don't know off the top
Okay.
of my head, but
It's
figured
the
out.
whiskey
it's like
kind.
a local brewery.
It's the whiskey kind.
Is it like bourbon, then?
Yeah,
Fireball?
I think that would be a southern whiskey.
Yes,
So
very much so.
bourbon rather than a rye.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So she's like, I do like bourbon. Not as much as Irish whiskey. That's, oh my god, so good.
You know
Bourbon's
what?
Pretty
If you're
solid,
gonna
too.
drink Irish whiskey, you might as well do it in Ireland.
I mean, I rather enjoy Ireland. I had some amazing trips there for research, but sure. Yeah, bourbon sounds great. And she's gonna grab some and just like pour about 2 ounces into her coffee mug.
To me, that sounds like Savoy inviting Tilda on a trip to Ireland. I don't know about you guys, but
I
that's
mean-
how that read to me.
I mean,
Honeymoon in Ireland confirmed.
Raven read it that way too, but I think Tilda might be a little too oblivious.
I'm not saying that you're right, but you're right.
So
Get it, girl.
I mean, yeah, so, the whiskey in Ireland sounds great. We should do that.
I will have it booked. And like Savoy pulls out their phone and tappies the screen and puts it away. Anyways,
So it's just like,
I have a
okay.
question for you.
Tilda's sort of like sipping her now spiked coffee. Mm-hmm.
In your vast knowledge of occult, do you know anything about crazy leeches?
Now, do you mean in the application of as a treatment for crazy people or leeches that are themselves insane?
Amazing.
I think it's the latter.
Okay. I mean, there are some magical, mythological, well, I guess they're not so much myth anymore. There's some magical creatures that do act like leeches that can be quite unusual.
What about ones that look like leeches and act like leeches but aren't leeches?
Like a vampire in a leech disguise, or
Like, I don't know.
or
Mira?
do they are you talking about something that is a leech but looks like something else?
What about something that looks like a leech that tries to eat human flesh?
You know
Sure.
nothing of the sort, Tilda.
Right. Sure. I mean, there's maybe a zombie leech. It could be something I haven't read about before.
Okay.
Why
don't
do
know
you ask
either.
out of curiosity?
That boy that broke into your room yesterday,
Mm-hmm. The rude
he
one,
was
yeah.
attacked last night. And
Hmm.
he and his mom are in the hospital tonight.
Is he, like, okay?
I mean, as far as I can tell, he might be mildly traumatized, but for all intents and purposes, he'll live and he's
Oh,
fine.
okay. Oh,
But
glad he's okay. You hate to see it happen, but you know,
right,
as
but
long
like,
as he's okay.
you know as well as I know that a swamp leech might suck your blood out and give you a nasty bruise, but it
Mhm.
wouldn't take a bite out of your earlobe, right?
No, that would not. Why was it on his ear?
I don't
Was
know.
he like laying down in the swamp, or?
You know what? I didn't ask questions. I didn't ask those questions, but I was hoping maybe you would know the answer. You know
Yeah,
what?
that's
You know what
that's a
we
new
should
one.
do? Devore poised another glass for themselves. We should go see Mira.
So
The
Tilda's
fuck?
sipping her coffee and just sort of does it. Sorry, what?
I called the doctor to set up the blood, the individually juice packeted packages of blood,
Okay.
and I'm having
Savoy, please spend your money putting those blood baggies into juice boxes. Please do it. Just put like some funky fucking logo on the front and make it look like juice. It's fruit punch. Lads, it's fruit punch.
Vlad's,
It's,
Vlad's fruit punch.
Vlad's. Vlad's
No,
fruit
no,
punch.
I've got it.
Mira
It's
constantly has to stop Lily from trying to drink the fucking juice
I
boxes.
got it. It's
red one's for
Vlad's blood
mine.
orange juice. Vlad's blood orange juice. There you go.
Oh my god.
Rowan, could that be a
Savoy,
thing?
please.
Could that actually have happened?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
That's where you're sending the blood. It has to be a different packager, and you've paid them enough to do it.
All right.
It's a great cover.
They will arrive tomorrow morning, but I feel like I should probably go and apologize to Mira. Because, I mean, I am Zahil, and Zahil is me, and Zahil is out of control.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I might
why
as well apologize for Zahil's actions too, because it's just gonna get us further into trouble.
that's fair. I suppose I could apologize for the net gun. I mean, it was that or watch you two kill each other. I think that was the better move, but I don't. Maybe I could have been nicer about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Plus, you can give her the guest pass for the house, assuming we're okay with the thief running around the estate.
We could ask her about that, but I feel like that's a terrible way to open an apology.
Probably yes.
Maybe we can talk to her about it later.
Yeah,
we'll start with the apology.
we'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
So
This
it's
is
at that moment that
really strong bourbon.
it's not about that moment that you notice that someone else is in the room. You at first think it's Barnabas, but then he speaks up, and that's definitely not a voice you recognize. He's like, huh, well, if you were going to Mira's, perhaps I should have waited to make my acquaintance. Tamrio, no!
What do you have? A knife? No!
I'm just like full like owl 360 swivels around.
So I'm pulling up in roll 20 this guy. Sorry, it's a little
Ooh,
rough.
cutie.
I haven't... Vanessa agrees. She's already drew fan art.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like 5 minutes afterwards.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so it's kind of interesting because it's like a purple kind of glow around him. He seems sort of ethereal, and it's kind of strange you didn't notice him there before. And he's
Mira's
clearly not
just-
human.
Or Mira. Tilda is gonna just take a sip of coffee.
Tilda, you will recognize his voice, but you may not be able to place where.
So you're astral projecting right now, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't be standing here.
Something like that, yes.
Savoy
Okay.
blinks is like, if you're astral projecting, why the fuck did you come here?
That's a
Well,
fair
I didn't-
question.
I didn't expect you to be 3 sheets in the wind.
I'm at
Although
most,
I am always
like,
one for a party.
A pillowcase in the wind.
Would you like me to pour you a glass, Mr. Astral Projectory?
I
So
would,
it's like you said ass.
but I don't think you understand. That's pretty good. But I don't think you understand this whole astral projection thing.
Well, maybe you're more than a figment of our imaginations. And to
Well,
that, I'll
we're-
toast. And Savoy totally like pulls out another glass cup and pours more fucking bourbon in it on ice and hands it to the ooh pretty boy.
So
Slide
boy,
across
like,
the table.
he's not physically here. He can't drink it.
That's okay. At least I can dream about drinking it. What are you doing here, Sparkles?
No, see, the only appropriate way for that to have happened was if Savoy literally just let the glass go. It just smashed on the ground.
Savoy would.
throws
Like,
it
if it slid far enough off the table, Savoy would be like, all right.
So you're the one that wanted me to get you that special book, right?
Did I say I wanted it? I think I said that I knew what to do with it better than you did.
Okay.
That is true. But alas, I think we get ahead of ourselves. I would like to formally introduce myself. I am Temryu, Prince of the Realm.
Which realm would that be?
Yeah,
There's a
what'd
lot
she
of
say?
them.
Well, the realm, the one that exists right here in Tickfaw.
Right. You're the
What was your
Prince of
family
Tickfaw
name
County.
again?
Yes. Temryu.
Not like your last name.
If you're
don't
the
have
prince of this region, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe downplay the realm part. Just this is not like that prestigious of an area. I grew up here, I should know. I'm just
I mean,
there's
you're
nothing
not-
here.
Tilda!
Yes, Savoy?
I mean, you're not wrong. I
This
wish I
has
had
been
a
my
better choice.
family's land for like 20 generations.
Well, sure, and it's a fine area. I'm just saying, if you're gonna brag about something, I mean, emphasize the prince part, not the Tickfaw County, Louisiana part.
Okay, first of all, Tilda, I agree with you. Second of all, shiny dude, Mr. Sparkles here. You are not the lord of this land.
I mean,
You
they're
see, that
right.
is where we come to an impasse.
I don't understand.
You see, well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? It's difficult to play a game if you don't understand the rules, isn't it?
Is this gonna be a whole bunch of rhetorical questions, or are you gonna fucking tell me what's going on?
I was gonna say something a lot longer than that with more words, but basically what Savoy said.
Well, I think I'm putting it together a puzzle. You already have all the tools you need to find out.
Like fingers and a picture of the finished puzzle?
Please. You have a changeling within you who would know about the realms. You have someone you can ask questions who knows about the realms, who's been keeping secrets from you, of course. But I'm not one to, to spill so easily. You see, we are at an impasse where I'm Lord of the Realm, but you too are Lord of the Realm. You see what the difficulty is here?
Tilda leans over to Savoy and just quietly goes, "He's definitely a politician. He's saying way too many words without getting to a point."
And Savoy just laughs. Savoy's like, yeah, I've met people like this bloke here. He's all hot gas.
Tilda's like halfway done with her coffee. Then Tilda's a lightweight, so she's feeling a little more sassy than normal.
In Tilda's mug. Puts it down. Look, Sparkles. The only way that you get to be Lord of the Land around here is to be the family name that holds on to the land the longest. And as far as I can tell, nobody here has heard high end of your ass being around these parts. A little bit of the southern drawl comes out because Savoy's now drunk enough.
I don't know.
And you seem like you've got a lot of haunches working out for you, but you're just hot air. And unless you've got something to prove, you ought to prove it right here. And right now, or get the fuck out of my house.
I have 2,000 years on you, my friend. 2,000 years, unfortunately, on the same land. War is inevitable. But I wish that this would go a bit more peacefully. But apparently talking to you when you're three sheets to the wind is not the best way to do it.
Well, I mean, if you would get to a point, then we could have a conversation, but you're just sort of rambling.
He's real dodgy.
What do you want? What is your motivation?
I am Lord of the Realm.
You're not Lord of the Realm.
Okay,
well,
we'll just table that argument for now. Lord of the Realm, sure. For sake of argument, you're Lord of the Realm. What do you want?
I want what belongs to me.
What belongs to you, pray tell?
The land.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I know that we will not settle this in a normal way, so I've set up a game that you have already solved part of.
A game in which only you make the rules, and therefore only you are the one that deems how to win it, therefore making you the only person that can win it. I don't see how a game like that is fair or even objectively winnable. Why?
Well, why would that be fun? Why would it be fun if I didn't even have if I didn't even give you the home team a fighting chance?
So then what is our fighting chance?
I'm sorry. I hate to keep harping on this, but So, out of the entire planet of Earth, you're fixated on Tickfaw, Louisiana.
If I had a choice, honey, I would have picked something much more glamorous. I know that Tokyo looked rather good. I think that's what it's called now, isn't it? Tokyo? It was called
Japan.
something else at the time.
Japan? Yeah, I mean, it's been Tokyo for pretty much ever. But sure. Japan. So what
is the point of what is this game that we're playing? You keep alluding to this game that has no rules.
Have you never talked to the voice in your head? Honestly. Do you not know what's happening?
Usually I tell it to shut up because it's telling me bad things.
I agree.
Like, I'll never amount to anything, or like, what is a doctorate of library museum sciences even for?
I mean, I feel
but
like
it's a stupid voice.
There's a lot more than that, but Zahil's just a horny piece of shit. Why would I listen to them?
Clearly this is going to take more time than I have time for.
Well, you had time to
alas,
ramble on forever without getting... What's the objective of your game? Apparently it's going to be 20 questions.
Is who gets the land? Me or you? Me of my realm or you of yours?
Well,
regardless, they're merging. You don't have a choice.
It's going to be me, you motherfucker. You cannot fight me for this land. I will take it no matter what.
I mean, according to the the county registrar, Savoy owns the land. I mean, it's pretty clear cut.
I am gonna go ahead and roll
don't
cool.
Apply.
Just because the Temryu is pushing on a few sensitive buttons and frustrating Savoy.
Yes.
Oh.
On Mira's behalf, I would just like to look at Temryu and be like, do you see what the fuck I have to deal with?
Yeah. I think he's getting a picture.
Jasmine, we do have 3d6 and a d4 available.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay. Is it a 9?
A 9. Mixed success.
So you get as Savoy becomes more agitated, the feathers begin popping out across their jawbones and into their hair, but you don't see much more of Zahil than that.
So, if you can say that doesn't apply, then fuck it. I will say your claim doesn't apply. Now it's public land.
Alas, and then we have a war on our hands.
So why did you go through all this trouble if you just wanted to start a war?
Because
seems very inefficient operation.
But
I didn't, but it was inevitable.
You broke into my house, told me that I didn't have any rights to my land, that you wanted to play a game with no rules, and that you were going to win regardless.
Well, I mean, technically he said we'd have a fighting chance, but he didn't really specify what that chance would be. But you're right, it's very, very rude.
Giving me a chance to talk about it. But
I mean, usually royalty approaches with...
Just get to the point!
You see his form flicker a little?
I mean, usually royalty starts with, gifts, like a token of good faith and things like that. I mean, if you're trying for diplomacy, you really suck at it.
Have I not given you gifts aplenty? Do you not have goblins here on your land?
We won those goblins fair and square. I promised them land in return for their help. That has nothing to do with you.
I mean, the goblins that you made make the ogre angry who nearly killed me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with hard pass on that gift. That's like an anti-gift, actually.
He wipes his mouth. You can see like this kind of purplish blood like trickling down. He's like, I can see this is getting nowhere. It's unfortunate. I truly had high hopes.
Well, maybe set your hopes on something attainable.
So
That's-
Savoy
I
has
will.
pushed their chair out and is now standing next to their finished dinner plate and glass and is staring at their guest now. And is like, I feel that you have overstayed your welcome.
Unfortunately, I can't stay much longer anyways.
Okay.
And so here we are.
So either say your piece and be frank about it or get the fuck out.
No, he's he's tempo, not Frank. I still don't I still don't understand this game that we're supposed to be playing. All I'm saying is you've been very rude for somebody that's trying to be diplomatic.
Your research. And perhaps then we can talk.
You should really get that looked at. That does not look good.
He
I'm
bares
a
his
doctor.
teeth and it disappears. And for a moment, you see a little girl holding a book that you recognize, Tilda. Before the little girl is gone, as is the person with not a sight.
Well, he was very rude.
Y'all didn't even give him a chance to talk.
We tried. We just wanted him to get to the point. But
Y'all are two drunk, bumbling idiots. Sit the fuck down.
100% that.
Yeah.
So did you see right before he disappeared? There's that little. It was the little girl from the library, the street urchin. And she had that
one
book.
from the missing children's case.
Yeah, that one.
So
she had the book, the book that Mira stole.
Savoy thumps a fist against the table, rattling all the glassware on the table, and kind of like gives like this very inhuman snarl before like collecting themselves and sitting back down and trying to appear a little bit more proper, but still very sloshed.
Until it's just like, wow, this is what is this, like mahogany? It's a very sturdy table.
Mahogany.
This would be the perfect point for one of the servants to come in and be like, oh, Master Savoy is having a temper tantrum again, and walks back out.
Just sort of like walks in with a tray, sees what's going on, and immediately turns around like, nope.
Barney's like, I'll make some coffee.
I have coffee.
I still think we should apologize to Mira.
There's not much coffee. Yes, we should do that. There's not much
But I
coffee.
also
It's mostly
very
whiskey
much
now.
want to tear the doors off of hinges and beat people with them. More feathers sprout.
I have an idea.
What? So
I used to get kind of frustrated like that too when I was in college. There's long story short, I didn't have a lot of friends in college. Long story short, when I would get really frustrated and want to beat people, obviously I can't beat people. One, I'm not that strong, and two, I would get in trouble. So I would play this old game where you got to beat up people on the game, and it was a lot of fun. I still have a copy with me. Do you want to try it?
Yes. But
It's called Mortal Kombat.
I think I played that when I was a kid.
Yeah,
We
you actually like get to rip
Right.
people's hearts out and stuff.
It's great. KO.
Yeah.
Ultimate move or whatever. Anyways, we still need to apologize to Mira.
Right. Mira, gotta apologize.
And
I
I have
should
a
stop.
huge workout gym with lots of punching bags wherein I can
You cut out there. I all I heard was ack, and then pause, and then
actually KO a punching bag.
oh, that would be fun too. I'll probably just watch you do that because I'm still not quite at 100%, but that sounds like fun too.
Party!
All right.
We need a driver.
That's right. That's why I need
Barney.
Barnaby.
All right.
Barnabas. It's Barnabas. Sorry. Rick stands is like burp over you.
It's appropriate to the scene.
It's Barnabas. And would
Hi,
you like
Barney.
that drive? Yes.
The
Yes.
hired
Would you
help
like-
Bob Barker is just as drunk as you guys.
Would you like that drive?
Well, if there wasn't a
With or
server
without
to answer
coffee?
the call, Savoy was going to drive them themselves.
No, Tilda would not let them. She's not that drunk yet.
All right. Well, let's go back to Mira and Jonas, but with a caveat. Y'all switch roles for 5 minutes.
Oh, you
Why
used
did I
it.
know that you were gonna do that?
All right, so Rowan has used the swap 2 players for 5 minutes. Let me grab a timer real quick. So yeah, Riley will have to play Mira, and Vanessa will have to play Jonas.
Well,
I think we should just go into this and just fuck as much shit up as possible. But anyway, go ahead.
All right,
Yeah. So,
5
Mira.
minutes now.
Mira, you are in Lily's room. Lily's gone. You close the door behind you. Jonas is still sitting out there. And all of a sudden, Lily reappears with the book, just kind of blinking. The book is leaking what looks to be like purple ink.
Riley.
Really?
oh crap! I forgot. I'm
You're
doing
Mira.
it.
You're Mira.
Where
You're
the hell
the
have you
angry
been?
vampire girl. Go ahead.
Lily
Where the
blinks.
hell have
She's
you
like,
been?
I don't know. I think I saw. I saw 2 ladies. I think maybe one wasn't a lady, but they weren't very nice.
Jonas like blinks back and forth between Mira and Lily.
Isn't the
And
door
he's-
closed?
Oh, are they still in the room?
Yes.
Oh, my
Okay.
bad. It would have been funnier if they
So
weren't. But anyway,
you're hearing raised voices
okay,
in this room.
right. Okay. Well, being Jonas, of course. He gets up and he follows the sound and he calls out and he's like, Mira, is everything okay in there? I didn't know you had a guest. I should have brought more food, I guess.
No. I don't have a guess. It's fine.
Or
Just
do you have a
go
a
eat your
TV
food,
in
Jonas.
there?
I'll be out in a second.
Do you have a TV in there? Are you watching a movie? I could probably run down the street and rent something if you really want to watch a movie.
Jonas,
Okay. I'll just go finish my food. You finish watching your movie and then, yeah, okay. And then he goes and sits back down at the kitchen table.
Mira turns back to Lily, exasperated. It's like, listen, I thought we agreed. I thought you were gonna stay here.
I did, but Tamriel, the prince, he wanted to go and talk to people. He wanted to introduce himself. They weren't very nice. I don't think he's very happy. This cat.
Okay, I need you to think Who did you see? What did they look?
They were both drinking a lot of shiny drinks. I think it was not quite the color of lemonade. Maybe it was the beer. Maybe that's what beer looks like. There was a lot of bottles. It was a fancy house. There was 2 of them. One had feathers on their face.
Mira's just she just looks very worn and annoyed and angry.
When in doubt, go the angry route.
Yes.
Was the other one blonde?
Yes, something like that. I didn't get a good look. I was busy.
Ugh. Okay. I just need you to stay here. Can you stay here for me?
Yes.
At this
you
point,
actually gonna
Jonas
say-
like knocks on the door again. And he's like, Mira, I kind of still hearing 2 voices in there. Like, you sure you're good? If you do have a guest, like I can leave if you need me to go, but like, are you good in there?
Mira opens the door just a crack.
Like, Jonas is very close to the door.
Just smooch and close the door. Well, shut him up.
I'm fine, Jonas. I thought you were eating your food.
Yeah, I finished. I put the plate in the sink. If that's cool. I didn't see any dish liquid or anything, so I just rinsed it off and left it in the sink.
Thank you, Jonas. That was very thoughtful.
Mira
Like
tugs on Mira's pants.
Mira like slams the door really quickly and turns around. I need you to be quiet, okay?
I'm sorry. It's just that the prince wants you to have this right now. And hands Mira the book that is dripping.
So, Vanessa, this is you now.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
That was amazing, guys. It was so fun.
That was
God.
great. You guys both
So
did a
spot on.
perfect job.
So spot on. It was
Man,
amazing.
I'm so glad I saved that for that moment.
I had a weird feeling today that Jonas and I were gonna get to switch. Like I felt it. I was so ready.
The problem is I get so invested in the plot of what you guys are doing, I forget. So good job, I guess.
Much better than the rhyming one went.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
But
All
no,
right,
you
Mira.
did a really great job with Mira, so good job.
Oh, thanks. You
So-
did great with Jonas.
Thanks.
Hands you the book.
Right. Mira like lifts it up and like looks at the drip that's coming out of it, and she's like, "Lily,
Like
what is
purple.
this?"
She's like, I don't know. I think he's hurt.
Mira like sniffs at the liquid. Is it? Can she
It's
tell like,
fairy
what
blood.
it is?
It's fairy
Huh?
blood.
She gets lost in that for a second, completely forgetting that Jones had just had the door slammed in his face. She
Good
goes
job.
and she sets it down and she like flips through the book to see like if anything's
first-
different or
The first page has writing on it, or writing that kind of appears as you skim the page. And it says, how do the humans not know about the inevitable war? Are they truly that clueless? Have I been playing a game with people who don't even know that they're playing? Have they forgotten about us?
And
Seriously though, if you want me to go, I could just go.
Mira closes her eyes and she's like, just a second, Jonas. Just 1 second. I will be right out.
pooping.
In the corner of a bedroom.
Yeah.
Jonas doesn't know what it is, right?
Oh my god.
So this is writing that's appearing on the page, is it?
Yes.
She reads through it and she says out loud, is this your way of communicating now? Am I supposed to answer you? What do you want me to do?
There's nothing for a second. The ink starts running together on the page, these words that are appearing, almost like the trickling of blood. You notice that it's kind of like a purple text. And he says, I don't have the energy for this. We'll speak later.
Mira closes the book back up without saying anything else and tries to hide it in an inconspicuous spot. But, that's kind of hard considering there's purple fairy blood dripping everywhere. But she turns back to Lily and she says, you can't disappear like that. You told me that you were going to stay here.
I didn't. But it was the prince that wanted to go. He had a plan. I'm trying to be good. I know you don't like it when I go.
Mira sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose for a second, and then she tries to take some of the frustration out of her voice and just says, okay, I know that it wasn't your fault, but can you please just be quiet so that I can go and deal with Jonas? I don't want him to know that you're here yet.
I'm sorry that I don't think Temryu wanted you to know that we were gone. I think he knew you'd be upset.
Mira gives a little smile and she says, it's okay for now. We'll figure out what to do about it later, but can you promise that you'll be quiet just for a little while longer?
Okay.
Okay. I'll be back. Just make sure that you don't make any noise, okay?
Jonas, are you still standing at the door?
Yes, Jonas is very confused.
Okay.
Mira opens
He's getting all the
door.
messages that she wants him to leave, but she hasn't kicked him out yet.
Mira opens the door and tries to shimmy squeeze out of it. And I don't know if Jonas is still standing very close to that door, but if he is,
yes,
he's getting a whole face full of Mira.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hey, there's no my god.
I did 2 tonight, by the way.
Oh, nice. I missed one.
Apparently. Okay. So here she comes.
Is it, whoa, sorry, I can step back. Whoa. You smell pretty good.
She just narrows her eyes at him.
Sorry.
Are you gonna back up, Jonas? Are you gonna stand here in my space all day?
I'm sorry. If you already have a guest,
Oh my god, Jonas.
I completely understand. I mean, you're a very attractive Fae lady.
Mira doesn't like. It's almost like that situation with Zahil where she just appeared in their lap and didn't move because she didn't give a fuck. This is totally the same situation. She just gives off like big dick energy. She does not move. She has no problem with the proximity, if whatever. So she just kind of puts her hands on her hips a little bit, and she's like, "I told you it was fine. It's fine. I don't have a guest. It was the TV."
Are you like watching something weird in there? Like, is there a reason why you're just coming in like really close and shutting it tight behind
You
you?
wanna investigate a mystery there, Jonas?
That's plus sharp.
Yes. Are you like watching porn there or something? That's what Raven said.
11.
All right, that's a success. So you get to hold 2. Let me pull this up. So,
Just curious about
Okay.
how far away is Tilda and Savoy at this point?
I have also
I'm
been
keeping in mind.
wondering.
I've been keeping in mind.
These two
Keeping up.
drunk, bubbling idiots coming in to see Mira and Jonas.
It will be soon, but right now we are investigating a mystery, aren't we? Question is, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? You can ask 2 of those. Or questions
Jonas
are
doesn't even
similar.
know what to ask. First of all, he's very distracted by this very attractive Fae right in front of his face. So
All
what is
right.
being concealed here? Like, what? Like, is there actually somebody here that she doesn't want me to know about that, like, is like a romantic interest?
You are looking Mira up and down.
I love that
And
that's
you
always Jonas's first thought is like, is someone moving in here?
Yep. You look Mira up and down, and you see a handprint on Mira's pants, a purple handprint, almost like it's paint. That's the size of a child's hand. It's a whole hand the size of a child.
Oh,
That's a
gosh.
mighty big handprint.
Oh, jeez.
Do you have a kid?
Mira looks surprised and she's like, "No."
Yup. I don't know what
Well,
you're
then what's that on your pants?
Mira looks down and sees the purple. She's going to. I want to roll for this. She's going to try and make it glamored to disappear. That is a 14.
A 14. So yeah, so just like you just like, what handprint? It's gone.
Yeah, no, she literally looks down and then she looks at him like there's something wrong with him, and she's like, "What handprint?"
Jonas, with your investigative mystery, you absolutely know Mira just used magic. You know magic when you feel it, see it, smell it, whatever.
Listen, I understand you wanting to have secrets, but come on. Trying to glamour me right now?
I can see
my
why trying
blood.
to glamour me right now.
I feel his disappointment in my heart. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't respond at all. She just looks at him expectantly, like, okay.
Yeah, and
Well, it's fine. You don't have to tell me what you're hiding. And Jonas just is doing the same thing she's doing, just not moving. Like they're both like up, like real close together. They're just both not moving.
Oh no. And you know what? Mira's not gonna move. She's not gonna give away. So
all right. So that's about the time that there's a knock at the door. Until
Mira
then,
doesn't
Savoy.
move. Mira's not gonna go get
Jonas
that.
doesn't move either.
There'd be like 30 seconds and then another.
Hey, Mira.
Hey!
We're here
So
to
when-
apologize.
When she hears the voices, because she and Jonas are so close together, he can probably see the twitch in the muscles in her cheek. And then just the way that the defiance in her eyes turns to something a little more heated, but she still doesn't move. The Fae don't get uncomfortable, Jonas, so you're gonna have to do something, bud.
Jonas doesn't get uncomfortable.
The
You're
two
right,
most
Sarah.
stubborn two most stubborn idiots, and this is gonna go on forever. Anyway.
Can Savoy try the door?
Sure.
Is
If you're
Jonas
drunk
there
enough.
with you? I think that's his car.
Jonas!
Mira like
Jonas,
closes
did you
her
leave?
eyes.
Dinner! To be here!
Mira closes her eyes and exhales through her nose.
What was that?
Her eyes like fly back open. She's like, Jonas.
What?
Savoy's gonna try the doorknob. Is it unlocked or locked?
I think Mira was probably surprised enough by Jonas showing up that she did not lock the door.
So there's the sound of the door slowly clicking and popping open.
Tilda's like, Savoy, wait, they might be having sex in there or something. We don't want to walk in on that. It's rude.
Mira doesn't turn to look at them.
Savoy just
She
like
just-
pushes a palm into Tilda's face and walks in and is like, Mira, Jonas, mostly Mira though. I've come here to apologize, and I'm pretty sure you're here. I don't know if you're here, but I'm pretty sure you're here. And so I'm going to fucking face it, or you can listen to me drunkenly ramble at you.
So I would just like to kind of give you a little idea of how Mira's house is laid out, because that makes this so much funnier. So the way I imagine it is like when you come in through the front door, on the right-hand side is where the little kitchen area is. It's like a little kitchenette. And then on the left-hand side is where the little living room area is. And there's kind of like just a little tiny hallway going back, and then doors on either side. So there's like the bathroom and the bedroom and stuff like that, and the little spare spot that she keeps Lily. So
essentially, they can see them.
Yes,
but they
yes.
can't see Mira.
No.
and Jonas.
You can all see each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the little hallway is just straight ahead.
And they're
So-
like,
Tilda's just gonna point with Savoy's, hand on her face.
Savoy looks and is like, well, that looks awkward.
Oh boy.
What were you guys up to? And it's clear, like, Mira can probably smell it. Jonas might be able to smell it. But Savoy is fucking lit. Like, past 3 sheets to the wind. is like half a bottle into the whiskey, kind of drunk. And Savoy like looks down at the table, looks at where Tilda has pointed their hand, looks down at the table and is like, "You could have at least finished your dinner." And then like takes a few steps to the end of the table and said, like leans, it is like, "Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not the one to be pointing fingers. I came here to apologize because I'm a fuckwit and Zahil's a fuckwit and we made a lot of mistakes, and Mira, you're a good person as far as I could tell. And I don't understand the reasoning or the why you do the things that you do. But I know that you and I are at least close enough to be kin, and that doesn't excuse the behaviors that Zahil showed or that I showed, and that you deserve a lot better than that.
I have something to say too. First of all, Savoy.
This whole time she's still looking at Jonas like they're still playing this game.
So hold on,
First-
Savoy. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you just like leaving the table alone? Are you jostling it all?
Like, as like, Savoy's kind of jostled it, but mostly like they set like most of their weight against the table and is leaning back against it.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead,
So-
Tilda.
First of all, Savoy, you have very soft hands. They are lovely. Second of all, I too want to apologize to Mira because I think maybe I gave the wrong impression with the whole net gun thing. And that's not just because I've had a lot of bourbon that I'm saying this either. I've been thinking about this for a couple days. So, I'm sorry that I hit you with a net gun and that I was probably a little bit snarky about how letting you out and words and stuff. I'm not the best at tact sometimes. Anyways, I was just trying to keep you and Zahil from hurting each other so that you didn't die. So I apologize for not letting you out sooner. And I'm kind of sorry that I hit you with the net gun. Maybe I could have figured some way to stop you two from hurting each other better, but seemed like the best idea at the time. Anyways, I apologize.
Jonas
Mira-
is still looking at Mira and just listening to Tilda, and he's like, it's true. She is that way. I mean, she called me stupid a couple hours ago, but
See, I called Jonas stupid and I didn't even mean to.
Jonas just shrugs like it's no big deal.
At this point, Mira finally pushes past Jonas and leaves him standing there with his arms crossed. And she comes out into the little living room area, and she looks them both up and down, just like this scrutinizing gaze, and it's kind of a little uncomfortable because she looks like she's looking too far into them. And she just kind of says out loud, like, it sure would be a bad idea for someone to light a match in here. You guys are just absolutely smashed. Why would you even walk into somebody's home if they didn't answer the door? Just because it's unlocked doesn't mean you can come on in.
That Savoy does things like that. It's just Savoy.
I mean, Tilda's not wrong. I don't really have any excuses for my behavior, except for a lot of self-loathing. And that's besides the point. I felt that it was pertinent and had gone too long, and I've been out of town for too many days. And it sounded like a great idea at the time. But I can clearly see that you are in the middle of something. And that while you probably don't need my help, that I would like to offer it, whether or not you like me. And I'm sure I'm the last person that you want to see right now. That help is still there, and it'll be on your doorstep tomorrow morning.
Well, Savoy, if it makes you feel any better, she likes you a lot more than she likes Tilda, so.
Speaking of Tilda, Tilda does interject, goes, you know, might have had a little too much bourbon, but tomorrow will happen, and I won't be drunk, but I'll still be sorry for the whole net incident. So, there it is.
Yeah, liquor only gives you the courage to tell the truth. That's all.
Exactly.
Mira does feel tense. She's still got the frustration and the anger in her face and her expression and the way she's holding herself. But she turns her nose up at them a little bit, and she's just like, "You both make intoxication look so ugly." But she's having this little like moment that she had with Jonas earlier, where suddenly there are humans in front of her being nice and apologizing, and that makes her upset because she doesn't know how to deal with it. So she just kind of stands there looking at them really intensely for a whole minute without saying anything. And she doesn't know what to do with herself.
I think about 30, 45 seconds into that silence, Tilda's just gonna go, hey, what if I let you shoot me with a net gun? Would that help?
Tilda, you don't want to do this.
I'll just go stand out in the yard and at the estate place, and you can take a net gun and shoot me with the net, and it'll be fine.
There's a little spark in Mira's eyes, and she looks at Tilda and she says, "You know what? I might just take you up on that, but don't forget tomorrow when you're sobered up that you did offer, and I will collect on that promise."
Hold on. And Tilda pulls out her phone. Is like, okay. Notes. To-do list. Get shot by net gun from Mira. Okay. Got it.
The second thing that Mira does is she looks at Savoy for another second, and then she glances in Jonas's direction again, and there is a little twinkle in her eye this time, and she looks back to Savoy and she says, "You know what, Savoy? I understand what you're saying, and I do understand that perhaps you're going through a little bit of a rough time right now as well. And so I'd like to offer you a little peace offering." So she goes to her countertop, and the little stack of knickknacks and trinkets she has there. She pulls out a little pack of cigarettes, and she offers them to Savoy.
Okay, hold on a moment. There's 2 packs of cigarettes on the shelf. You could have sworn you only had 1.
You just had to take the joke, didn't you, Rowan? God damn it. Can she tell which one are the fuzzy ones? She definitely notices that there is only supposed to be one, so she kind of pokes that. The part of her that favors jokes and chaos is kind of at the forefront right now, so she really wants to do that.
So you look at it, you look at them, and you notice like a small like flicker from one of them. So you're able to grab the right one and continue
Right.
on.
Okay, she
you do take
takes
note.
yeah, okay. She takes the buzzy ones and holds them out to Savoy. And obviously the package is open, so she's like offering just a single cigarette.
Savoy,
Oh my gosh.
totally ready to take whatever olive branch that Mira has offered, goes to pull the cigarette out and inevitably gets shocked. Did you want me to roll cool?
It's not magic, fam.
No, but it is a sudden shock to the system.
That is up to you.
Tilda's just like covering her mouth, trying very poorly to hide a laugh.
So Savoy takes the cigarette, pulls it out, and gets shocked. And it's like, you just see like the goosebumps roll over their body, like almost like something squirming underneath their skin, and they twitch and shiver and like shake it out. And they're like, all right.
And Mira does something
Amazing.
that she has never done, and she just squeals with delight. Like this just, she's so excited. Like it's far better than she thought it was gonna be. Like the reaction was perfect, and she like turns around Jonas expectantly, and she's, you know, as if to say, look what happened, I did it.
Oh my gosh.
Jonas is just laughing, and he bounds over there, and he goes to give Mira a high five.
And Savoy's just like, oh, cigarette would have been so great right now.
A what?
Oh, that was a really good joke. Fuck you.
Oh.
And just laughs about it.
Oh man.
Mira hesitates for a second, but she does give Jonas a high five. She doesn't leave him hanging.
Yes!
Tilda's just giggling at the joke and kind of looks at Mira and goes, that was a pretty good one.
Part of me still wants to hate you, but it's okay.
My whole Zoom just froze up for a solid 10 seconds there.
Oh no!
Did I
no.
miss anything?
Oh, wow. Just
Tilda,
everyone congratulating you for a good joke.
Oh, good.
Tilda giggled and said that was a good one.
So Jonas, now that you're over there, did you drink all your orange juice?
Yes.
God damn it.
What?
I know that you're going to pull a fast one on us, and I'm just saying, God damn it.
Well, there's 2 empty glasses by your plate.
Jonas sees that out of the corner of his eye, and he does a double take, and he's like, did somebody bring a glass with them?
No, I just said I'd had enough bourbon and coffee, so I did not bring one with me.
Mira holds out her hands.
Is in my coat, and Savoy like throws open their coat, and there's like the little flask, but it doesn't have alcohol in it, and closes their coat.
Mira like holds up a hand to silence them. Like her all the squealing happy is gone now. She like shushes them, and she goes back to the pack of cigarettes.
The second pack, right?
Yeah.
It's gone.
I have a theory of what's happening, and in the style of Buffy, I have a theory that it's a demon, a dancing demon knows something isn't right there. Like,
I love you so much.
Oh no.
Effort secured.
She goes to pick up the second glass.
All right. I would like you to roll to investigate a mystery.
Okay, what stat did you say that was again?
That one is sharp. The rest of you, well, let's just have Mira do it. The 2 of you are 3 sheets to the wind and beyond. 2 infinity and beyond.
I have a -1 in sharp, so that's a 7.
Ooh, it's still a mixed success. So you get to hold 1. All right. So you can ask the question, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
All right. So it takes you a moment to figure out what glass what's going on, but you see one of the glasses flicker after a moment. Just very, very only a little bit.
She tries to pick it up.
You grab it, and immediately almost immediately it becomes like this worm thing. It's like a snake, but with like legs, multiple legs.
Like a centipede?
No, it's only like 6 legs.
Like a
So
lizard.
think
Like,
What kind of
lizard.
lizards have 6 legs?
A fairy lizard.
It's kind of like if you were to say like a mix between a scorpion and a snake, but with a mouth. Like it has one eye in the center of its head and a mouth with teeth, kind of like a leech.
So it looks like that corrupted gem on that one episode of Steven Universe with the one eye.
Oh, hey, that's a fair one. That's
So
almost.
the boy's going to immediately step back from the table and be like,
Oh.
ah!
And it bites your hand, Mira.
She squeezes in response. She's trying to squeeze the devil out of this thing.
It writhes and pops. I am so sorry, you guys. Let me know if that's too much. I can leave it there. But it pops and is dead.
I'm good. I'm good as long
Perfect.
as it's not under the skin.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
I think that's good there. It is crushed to death.
Yeah.
So Mira looks around to see if there's anything else that's out of place in her living room, kind of kitchen area.
Okay. You only hold 1. You've kind of already had that. Jonas, are you gonna help look, or are the rest of you gonna help look?
Yeah, I'll help look.
I'd help look, but like
I
I've
don't really
never
know what I'm
been
looking
inside her
for,
house.
Yeah, none of us have any idea of what should or should not be there.
but duplicates.
Yes.
We can look for identicals.
We
So are
start
you
busting
asking-
everything of Mira's that has more than one of it.
So you see Mira just kind of rummaging around the house, and she's not finding anything, but she is kind of tearing up a storm.
I'm gonna try. I'll try.
Could
I'll try.
could I maybe remember a ritual or something basically to cast detect magic? Essentially.
Ooh.
I rolled a 7 to help.
Investigate a mystery. Tilda.
Oh, Jonas fails helping.
An 11.
Yay, experience.
An 11. Okay, Tilda. Ask 2. Or hold 2. And I guess this helps. You had help from the others for this. Mira already asked for questions. Now, what happened here? What
Mhm.
sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? I assume it's what's being concealed here.
Yeah, she's wanting to basically like so Tilda will grab her. I imagine she doesn't carry like a typical purse. It's more of like a messenger
Wait,
bag.
No. Don't.
Sorry.
Oh.
Tilda has no idea that there's something that Mira's trying to conceal here. Tilda's just like, well, we already know Mira's a red cap, so what does it matter? So she pulls out a bunch of things from her bag, like sets them in this intricate design on the table, and then starts chanting in French.
Well, you see Mira light up, and you then see
And Tilda's just like, yeah, I know that's magic.
all of the bedroom door behind you, or the room door behind you, light up.
Sorry, my whole Zoom chat just shut down again. What did I miss?
Tilda's casting a spell, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tilda's doing magic. There's like these random knickknacks on the table in a design, and she's chanting in French. And
Can Mira attempt to sabotage the arrangement?
I mean, you could, but I don't know if you could do it in a way that's concealed.
No. Yeah. Okay.
So, do you try to disrupt the spell, or do you let it go?
Let's just say she's not fast enough to do it inconspicuously.
So, like, you're like, okay, yeah, sure, help me find whatever this thing is, and all of a sudden, you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah, it's like, what do you have? A knife? No.
Help me gather the stuff out of the yard. Wait, what is that? A knife? No.
Yeah.
So Tilda points to the back room and goes, whole boatload of magic over there. Something's going on with that room.
Mira's eyes flash and she says, it's not in that room. I can tell you now that what we're looking for is not in that room.
It's just her magical TV.
Okay.
Mira looks at Jonas and it's just so exasperated. Like,
was there anything else lighting up though?
Not particular. I mean, the problem is that Mira lives in this house, right? So there's a bit of magic.
A little touched.
Everything's a little magic, and she's like has used glamour in like the whole place before. So
Tilda's specifically looking for spells that would conceal, freaky alien bug monster things. That type of spell. Not just Mira's glamour.
I mean, okay.
So
there's no spell that's concealing anything except for some Mira's glamour and the back room.
Okay. So when Jonas says it's just her magical TV, Tilda's gonna be like, oh, were you guys doing like magical Netflix and chill or something?
Absolutely.
Someone just laughs awkwardly in the corner.
Mira looks like she has no idea what Netflix is.
So Tilda's like, no, that's cool. I got your item thing going on, and like Foy and I are getting along great.
You know what, Doc? Why don't you take a sample of the fucking debris all over Mira's hands and see if we can track anything down from it?
Sure.
That's a good.
Maybe that's the only one that's been here, but you know what? This isn't the only one that's been in Tickfaw. I would put fucking $5,000 down that this is the same weird fucking creature that attacked Faith, which none of you know, and that's okay for now.
So Tilda's just like,
Jonas?
right. Yep, not saying anything.
Jonas, like,
I think it's like a mimic. Sorry. Tilda just goes, I think it's a mimic. And then she'll go see the Mira. Sorry, go ahead.
Jonas just quickly glances over at Mira as if to say, like, you owe me for covering you. I get to know what's in that back room.
Mira shoots him a glance in response that's like, not the fuck now.
Jonas just shrugs and directs his attention to Savoy. Don't worry, Savoy.
Who's drunkenly spouting about other things.
Never mind. It seems like you've moved on.
So Tilda first makes sure that Mira's hand is okay because she sees the bite. Is there?
It looks like a leech bite, except bigger.
Is there any like
And
first
much too
aid
feared.
that would be beneficial here that I should roll for, or is it just like, oh,
Rinsing
let
it
me
off in a sink. I mean, it
wash
didn't
it
like
off and
take
give
a
you a
chunk out
Band-Aid?
of her head, not like it did Faith Seer.
You know
Okay.
what? I have bourbon in the car we can pour on it.
It's don't. I have a first aid kit.
Mira
Bourbon is
pulls
for
her hand
drinking.
back from Tilda's grip, and she's like, "I'm fine. It's fine."
All right, I have really cool Band-Aids in my first aid kit. They've got like unicorns on them.
Mira squints at Tilda.
Tilda's dead serious. She's like, "You sure? I don't mind."
It's fine. It'll heal.
Okay.
Mira, you know unicorns are not actually real. Are you gonna burst Tilda's bubble?
They're not real?
They're not real.
Well, maybe they are in Mira's dimension.
They're not real.
No, she doesn't burst Tilda's bubble.
All right. So Tilda will go like, all right, that's fine. Okay.
All right.
Actually, no, Tilda will do one more thing. She'll like lead in a
Okay.
whisper to Mira and be like, so you and Jonas, that's cool. That's great. You know,
Mira
I
gives
want you to be
Tilda
happy.
a look that says, if you don't back up right at this moment, I'm not gonna be the only one dealing with a wound.
Tilda backs up, but like that's the last thing she says is like, you know, I want you to be happy, and then she'll just back off. I don't think she really picks up on the murderous look. Just, I want you to be happy, and then she moves on.
Yep. So, all right. As this is all going on, we pan back to our dear friends, Faith and Selena Moonstone. Who Selena has just come home with a very, very grouchy Faith. And enters into the store. The store actually has, like, they live in the back of the store. The magic shop is in the front. It's very old fashioned. She turns on the lights and sets down her keys. Pauses. It seems like she has double the stock of like everything. Huh. Oh well. And with that, we're gonna end for tonight.
No. Fantastic. Very good ending. That was awesome. So now we get to do our favorite parts, and then we'll go on our raid. So let's start with Rowan. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Ah, man. Okay. I think my favorite part was Mira and Jonas, just the whole thing. You know, Mira trying to talk to Lily and not understanding humans very well. It's also fun for me as the GM to kind of start revealing the villain a little bit. And y'all, he's really upset.
Well,
Good
he was
grief.
very rude.
He's a fairy. Good grief.
Okay. Where can we find you
Anyways,
next?
you'll find me back here on Saturday for Badlands.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's going to be at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Cool. And then, Vanessa, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite part was absolutely being Jonas. That was so fun. And Riley did a great job with Mira. So I think the whole thing was really funny. and just getting to experience another person's character like that was really cool too. So it was really fun. Other than that, I mean, I love these games so much every week. So I don't know, the whole thing is my favorite. I love you guys, and I love this world that we're building. So it was really fun. As for where you can find me next, we'll be on the next session of Tickfaw. So I'm excited.
Fantastic. Yasmin, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
My favorite part was probably the dumpster fire that was communicating with Tenryu.
He was trying so hard, you guys.
You know what? We were too.
It
wasn't working.
It just was not working, and now we have an upset prince and upset humans.
You know what?
This is going to go
You
great.
know what? I don't have an appropriate thing to say on stream about it. You can find me next week here on Tickfaw Files, hopefully playing a much more sober Savoy. And you can find me on Twitter doing art and maybe eventually soon tattoo design at Miss Tart, or as I did confirm, my handle is still ytatianaart on Twitter. So you follow me there, and that's it.
Awesome. Riley, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else that you'd like to share?
Oh boy. Really, the whole thing was my favorite part. I really did enjoy being able to do the swap and be Mira for a little bit. Yeah, Vanessa, great job on Jonas. Very Jonas.
Glad you approve.
But I also really liked just at the very beginning when Tilda gives Savoy this ring, and then Savoy just like grabs it and places it on all gracefully and just walks off.
That was a big swoon moment for Tilda for sure. It was amazing.
I imagined it in anime styling.
Tilda's probably like standing on the porch for a few seconds afterwards with like the tapping her two index fingers together like they do in anime. Yep. Sorry, Riley, I interrupted.
No, those were my favorite parts. I also really liked that the cigarettes got to come into play this time. The buzzing cigarettes.
I was holding on to that one, trying to sneak it in there somewhere.
It made Jonas very happy. Where you can find me next? This Saturday, I will be on the Badlands stream, and I also have a website that I just launched today that I'll put down in the chat.
Awesome. Oh geez, my favorite part. I agree with the whole thing was my favorite part. For sure. The whole thing was great. Highlight moments though, the whole like Tilda doing something that she's never done in her life, which is like back off, I'm flirting with this one. Because she doesn't normally flirt with anyone. So some background on Tilda, real briefly, not to go into too much detail, but like she's never really been in a relationship, and the only person she ever had a crush on, she was too chicken to do anything about in college. So very out of character for Tilda, but she's motivated enough to actually do something about it this time, learning from past mistakes. So like getting to see that in my character was really fun. But definitely the Howl moment going up the stairs was great. Savoy and Tilda getting drunk together was hilarious.
Yes.
We've learned that sober Tilda is bad at expressing her feelings. 3-drink Tilda is great at expressing her feelings. And then also all the interaction between Jonas and Mira was just incredible. Yeah, all of it was just great. As for where you can find me next, I will be back on here Friday night for I'm drawing a blank on the name of the one shot, but Noir Enigma is going to be GMing a game where we're basically like an adventuring party remembering the old days. So there's going to be a little like present and past type situations, which should be pretty interesting. It's D&D 5th edition, but Noir's putting in his own sort of mechanics there that's going to be really neat to see. He's absolutely hilarious. Thank you so much, Gwen. The good old days. That's what it is. The name of it. So you can find me there 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday, and then of course DMing for Badlands on Saturday at that same time. Also, a couple things to mention. So I mentioned previously that at the beginning that Patreon, if you are subscribed on there, you do get benefits and perks that apply to these games as a viewer. So definitely check that out. I also just uploaded some art right before the stream of Savoy's gift. So a little composite art piece with the note that Tilda gave Savoy with some other images of like the oranges and bath bombs and stuff. So you can check that out there. Also, I'm still looking into the bit emotes, hoping to have some time tomorrow to dig into that a little bit further. But Twitch has, good night, Gwen. Twitch has unlocked bit emotes for the channel. So at certain tiers of cheers of bits, you can unlock emotes that you can use elsewhere on Twitch. So keep an eye out for that. That is upcoming. And yeah, with that, we're going to go on a raid. Let me just double check and make sure who we're raiding is still live, because I've had bad luck with that the past few days. Yes, they are still live. We're going to go raid Perception Studio. They do really cool stuff where they have puppets playing D&D. It's really, really cool. So we're going to go give them a raid. We've got our raid cry, which is, "You gonna glam me like that, fam?"
From a comment,
so
even.
Yep.
Your comment.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. And yeah, I will see you all on Friday. Bye.